What is going on, everybody? So today I'm going to take you with me to an aquarium that's been up for a long time, since like the early 2000s. It was actually in a high school back in the day, and now it's at a residential home. The guy actually took it from his old high school and set it up at his house just because the teacher was gonna throw it away, and he's like, no, I'll take it. It reminds me of a really like old school aquarium, like how they used to do back in the the 2000s. And it's mostly it's pretty much all soft coral, but it's just kind of a blast from the past, and how every once in a while it's kind of cool to like take a trip down memory lane and remember how we used to do things in this hobby and how far we've come along. But first, I have some cool stuff here at the shop to show you. Well, I'm gonna begin with that. So we just got these beautiful Icecap aquariums in. This is a 20-gallon right here. I'm really liking it. All-in-one aquarium. Here's your bottom area right there for all your electric and maybe your ATO or something like that. Here's the back chamber. You got filter socks, some room for some media, return pump right here. But this is a really nice looking aquarium. This is the first I've known Icecap doing a tank, so it's kind of cool, something different, and it's a way more affordable option than like a Red Sea or even something like an Innovative Marine aquarium. It seems a lot more affordable. This is a 20-gallon, and then here is their 10-gallon right here. Now I think these can be both desktop, and you can get a stand for the 10 or the 20-gallon. Same thing with the 10-gallon, same basic setup. I'm not quite sure what kind of attachments comes with it, like extra stuff. I know that they have the little skimmer that can go back into this section right there, which is kind of cool. And Icecap makes pretty decent equipment, especially when it comes to pricing. Their pricing's pretty reasonable for people that don't want to invest, the thousands of dollars for a Red Sea tank, water box, or even better price than an Innovative Marine tank. So the 10-gallon here, you're looking for just for the rimless aquarium, just for the aquarium itself, you're looking about $139, I think, which is not bad at all for an all-in-one saltwater aquarium. And then if you want to add on the stand, it's about 200 bucks or something like that. Not bad at all. So for a whole setup there for a 10-gallon tank, not bad. And then for the 20-gallon tank, I think they retail for about $205 for a 20-gallon, and then for the stand for that, it looks like it's about $256 or something like that. So again, it's reasonable given what saltwater aquariums are going for nowadays. That's not a bad price. For an Icecap aquarium, I think it's pretty reasonable. At least it gets you in a nice saltwater all-in-one aquarium, and you're not having to turn a freshwater tank into a saltwater tank, and you're not getting like a BioCube or anything like that, which I can't stand. Now you will have to end up getting yourself a LED light, but that's a whole nother topic. You can at least start with the tank and then build up to the rest of the stuff. So yeah, we're carrying these in the store right now. 20-gallon cube, 10-gallon cube. And I kind of am thinking about getting a 20-gallon cube for myself for my house. I have 2 tanks in my house. They're old school aquariums, and I'm thinking of upgrading, especially because I have a little angler fish, and I'm thinking this would be a good upgrade for him, a 20-gallon. They also make a 40-gallon cube, which I'm really interested in. I think 40-gallon is like the perfect size for most people. It's not too big, it's not too small. I think it's like the perfect size tank for the majority of people out there. So I might get this 20-gallon cube and give this to my anglerfish, frogfish, and then do a 40-gallon cube with just some small fish and just some really cool corals. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Should I get this aquarium and set it up for my anglerfish at the house? Should I spend the money? It's a decision I'm kind of going back and forth with, but I think this would be really fun to set that up. And then we have the 30-gallon Innovative Marine right here that is finally cycled, and it is ready to start putting coral in. This will be one of our display tanks here at the shop. It's a little unorthodox type of tank, and the plan is to put kind of unorthodox types of corals in here, make it real weird looking, not natural looking. I want something that's a little bit different, but this will be the tank that you see when you first walk in the tank. So it is ready for coral, it is ready for fish, although I think we're just going to stick with coral for now, because we are a quarantine shop. Probably stay away from fish, at least for the meantime. So one of the fish that we have here in the store, I wanted to show you, this guy, that's this little buddy that's hiding here in this PVC pipe. It is a indigo dotty back, and it is a aquacultured fish. Let's see if we can get him to come out here. He's very shy, but apparently it's a mix between an orchard dottyback and a striped dottyback, which we got a bunch of stripes in too. But I think that's pretty cool. It's a good medium-sized fish. You can actually fit these guys in probably a 20-gallon and get away with it. The other thing I wanted to add is we get a lot of customers who are breaking down their tanks and don't know what to do with their fish. So we'll take them in, we'll get them quarantined, we'll get them treated, make sure that they're free of any type of parasites or disease or whatever. And then eventually we do our best to find them a new home. This is the yellow watchman goby that came in today because the customer was kind of over having a fish tank, was moving, didn't want anything else to do with it. So they called us up, we broke down their tank and grabbed their fish out. So this guy, hopefully, eventually, once he goes through quarantine, will find a new home. So here are some more aquaculture fish. All these aquaculture fish are coming from biota. These are lyre-tailed damselfish. These guys are really pretty looking, and they're not as aggressive as your normal damselfish. So definitely something different to add. All right, so here we are at the tank. This is a really simple aquarium. We're here about once a month. We do about a 25 to 40% water change given what the tank needs, but let's just run through this aquarium really quick. So all these corals I'm sure you've seen in your local fish store. We have a ton of Kenya tree. We have a big toadstool leather, which this used to be one piece. It's actually broken apart now. Its polyps are not because I just did a water change. We have some cabbage coral, old school cabbage coral, like the pale color, flesh color. Pulsing xenia, which is shockingly not pulsing crazy, but it's not spreading that quickly either, which is surprising. Old school hammer coral. We have a newer edition coral, but still one you used to see in the hobby a lot, pretty often. And what else do we have here? Star polyp, more of the down colored star polyp. Surprised that's not taking off a little bit more. A red mushrooms. And that's starting to grow a couple more little red mushrooms right there. I'd really like to see those take off. I added this little green cabbage coral today, so that's basically this same coral right here, but just more neon green, just because this tank is desperate. It desperately needs some more color in it. A ton of Kenya tree, which I honestly think we should start cutting that back. I'll have to get the okay from the owner because that's just kind of taken over. And Kenya trees, when I first got in the hobby, I thought Kenya tree was so cool, but it's kind of like, it just spreads so quickly. And some more cabbage coral. Then we have these old school pallies right here. I think these are the Mohawk zoas. And in between them, we have a bubble tip anemone, which actually split the smaller ones underneath there. And you can tell this one looks like it's about to split. Looks like there's two mouths developing there. So I think it's about to split. Another big toadstool right here. The polyps extended. I also think that's part of this one too. I think it broke and he split them up. But those polyps aren't out. These polyps are out fully. And this is a really pretty coral. Despite that it's down color, doesn't have a lot of color on it, it's still really pretty. Toadstools are one of my favorite. Long polyps, really, really pretty. There is a hint of green there. And then some more hammer coral down below. And I think that does it for coral in this tank. Nothing too, like I said, this is all this is how the hobby used to be. This is how tanks used to be back in the day. There was no acros, there wasn't a lot of LPS, it was mostly stuff like this. So this is kind of a throwback. Now this tank's been up for a long time. Not just here at this residency, but this used to be in a high school and it was set up for a while. And was used to teach kids. So it was kind of the owner of this tank kind of went to high school there. His teacher called him up and said, hey, I'm going to get rid of this tank. And he just, it's something from his childhood. He felt like a need to bring it with him, set it up at his house. But it's exactly how it was back in the early 2000s when when the hobby was just kind of still kind of new. You got a sump here, old school wet dry filtration, so the water drains into there, goes through all the wet dry little biomedia stuff. Got a little protein skimmer, got some rocks, and then a return pump. Crazy simple. Have an ATO with a big garbage can right there, and it's not a drill tank. It is a siphon overflow, which means this is not this is basically hang on the back here. It comes over and then it pumps. It sucks water in here, pumps in out here, and it goes into there. And where is it at? And then it goes down, where's the drain for it? It goes down the drain right here. So it's not attached to the tank, and it relies on a siphon to keep it going, which is what that pump is right there for, over on the side. Crazy simple setup. I wanted to share it because it's really a blast from the past. This is back in the day when the hobby was just starting off, and we've come a long way. I like showing tanks like this because it's kind of like taking a step in a time portal and how tanks used to be, and I like to see how far we've come in the hobby. Now the lights are relatively new additions, but even they're 5 years old at least. These are the Wi-Fi AI primes, not even the Bluetooth ones, so they're older school. It's enough light for this tank. One day he's probably going to upgrade, but I think, again, sentimental reasons, he likes keeping this just how it was when he was going to high school, so I can understand that. Pretty cool.